Josh, I love how we just look at each other and then end. It's like, oh, we got to end now. It's kind of funny. But there's no sweat or panic. You know, it's just like, oh, we're just going to end now. What am I doing? Do you ever have those moments where you're like, what am I doing? So I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one with those moments of what am I doing. I don't need this here, so I'm going to gently move that away. Gather my notes. Great. I'll trade places. It's like a musical theater song. You know how musical theater where they kind of give you the play-by-play of what they're doing? And then I walked into the living room, and I kicked my shoes off, and I found a sofa, and right? See? Josh, he knows. He knows what I'm talking about. That was the present moment, wonderful moment. See, I just went with whatever was in my head, no filter, no like, oh, should I do this or not do this? Let's just do this. Great. Okay, hi. I missed you. I wasn't here last week, and I missed the pancakes. Yeah. So it's nice to be back. Oh, good, they saved some. Hopefully they just left them on the counter. That would be... That's funny. So yeah, present moment, wonderful moment. I borrowed this from Thich Nhat Hanh. Anybody Thich Nhat Hanh follower, listener? Yeah, I was listening to a conversation of his which predated my time at Unity, and I was thinking about how in 2000, Leslie and I got married, and that was, Leslie was kind of my first introduction into something like angel cards and picking an angel card for the moment that you're about to have and things like that. And then I was listening to Thich Nhat Hanh, and he was doing a talk on present moment, wonderful moment from 1998. And I was thinking, wow, that was around even before angel cards in 2000. And then, of course, I realized that all of this stuff has been around for a very long time. That we could just go back and listen to things from a long, long time ago, read articles or read books that have been taking that history and presenting it to us, and yet we still struggle with the same things as humans, don't we? Don't you feel that? That no matter how much I step forward into my spiritual awakening and my awareness, there's a part of the brain that just wants to go back to this, and you have to sort of remind yourself, oh no, I'm not doing that anymore. Or no, wait, I have this that I can do instead. So I have some notes here that I'll get to from Thich Nhat Hanh, but I wanted to just share kind of my experience around this. So I woke up this morning at 4:30 and had a little bit of a panic. Anybody have those? Wake up? Right? And so here was what, I want to make sure I've got so I had this racing mind. I had done around all of the things that I had done wrong recently, that I had not done correctly. So you may have noticed that we had to send out a correction to the newsletter on Friday. Maybe you didn't. But I noticed because I had to organize it with Cindy for not putting correct information in the newsletter. And then I received an email from somebody wondering why a certain event wasn't announced last week when it needed to be announced. And of course, that's my responsibility as well, so I had failed on that. I've changed the date for the community circle now a couple of times because I missed some things in my notes on my schedule that actually wouldn't allow me to be here for it. And it's probably good that if I'm going to have a community circle with you all, I should be here for it, right? I received some information from somebody in Victoria about a lack of information and clarity around the way I was communicating. So I woke up this morning with this panic of, oh, and there was also slides that were not correct for today and that were not in the slideshow for today, and I hadn't checked it yesterday like I had intended. So I woke up thinking, man, am I failing miserably at this. And of course, I don't know if this works for you, but when I think of that, I can see many of your faces noticing what I'm not doing correctly. I don't know if you have that at the place you work or with the people that you hang out with, or when you've made a commitment to somebody and you forgot, where you can hear them or see them. So there's that, and there's that, and the list goes on. And so at 4:30 this morning, I was freaking out about things that I had done incorrectly or had not completed correctly, worried about the future of how that was going to show up on, the Sunday slides weren't going to be correct. And I'm thinking, I need to get out of bed right now and deal with this, right? Anybody? Like somehow I'm going to solve everything by leaping out of bed and running to my computer and fixing everything. And then I paused for a moment and I thought, or I could actually open up my Insight Timer app and just put in my headphones and do a meditation right here and just chill. That's what I could do. I could actually just get present to what is real right now, which is none of that stuff matters. All that matters right now is I'm in my bed and I can just go within, and none of that other stuff from the past or the future is happening right now. Yes? That's what we can do. We can just be present to exactly what is happening right now, which is, hey, I can just go within and chill. So that's what I did. Aren't you proud of me? Huh? Yeah, see? That's what you can do. You can just, you know what? I'm not going to try to solve all of that stuff now, because it's gone. The newsletter's done. It was already mistaken. There's nothing I can do to fix it. It already went out incorrectly. Not going to worry about how service is going to go, because it's not 1 o'clock yet. I don't have to actually worry about that. So that's what the present moment, wonderful moment, can look like, is you can become present, and then you can experience how wonderful the moment could actually be for you by checking in, tuning in, being present to what's right in front of you. And so this also showed up this morning in, anybody a hockey fan? So I am an ice hockey fan, have been my whole life. I've tried to cure myself of it. It's not going to happen. I just give in to the fact that I love ice hockey. So this morning, I knew this yesterday, that Alexander Ovechkin, who plays for the Washington Capitals, would have the opportunity to break Wayne Gretzky's scoring record for the most goals ever in the history of the National Hockey League by a single player, and that number would be 895 goals during the regular season. And so I was thinking about this because this day has been marching towards him for a while and all season. And he was injured earlier in the season, so there was lots of media like, is he going to make it? Is he not going to make it? And he also said publicly that he did not want that final goal to be an empty net goal. So he didn't want to do it late in the game when the net was empty and the other team had their goalie pulled and he could just put it in the net. He wanted it to be a legit, as he would call it, a legitimate goal on a goaltender. And so I think athletes and artists are a really good example for us of the present moment, wonderful moment, because he needs to do two things. He needs to not think about all of the stuff from the past, and he certainly needs to not hold his, ever heard that term that they're squeezing the stick too tightly? Because you're like so worried, I'm not playing very well, the puck's not going in the net, and you start to tense up, and you're thinking about all the things that could go wrong. He actually needs to just be in the moment. And then when that opportunity comes to do what he's done so many times in the past, like 894 times before he had put the puck in the net. And so I thought about this morning. I remembered, I was like, oh, I think that game's on this morning. I went out, I turned on the TV, and guess what happened? He scored just as I turned on the television, and I watched the goal. But that's when I thought, like, wow, he could have been so worried about that next goal once he scored it, because Wayne Gretzky was now following to every game so that he could honor him when he broke the record. The president of the National Hockey League was at the game. His family, the whole entourage was at the last 3 or 4 games. Like, it's just, all of this pressure to do it is being put on him. And if he stopped for a moment and really took all of that pressure on, it would have been a disaster. Like, he had to just go out, do what I know how to do, be present, and then he was able to have a wonderful moment. They stopped the game, Wayne came down, a lot of hugging, all of that stuff. It was great. And he now has the record that he will now add to. And I don't know what his goal is, if he wants 1,000 goals, maybe that's what he wants to hit, I don't know. But it's not the point, is that there was a lot that he had to surrender to be able to get to this place. And there's another great thing about it, that if we want to look, that's the ability to commit and stay focused on something. And that, I believe, is what our spiritual practice takes, is commitment and focus and bringing ourselves, I'll use a hockey analogy, bringing ourselves to the rink every day to perform, to practice, to do what we know is going to serve us. And then we need to be present to it. So, I have some stuff from the great Thich Nhat Hanh, who has a wonderful way at looking at this. Be fully present in the moment. While washing the dishes, you might be thinking about the tea afterward. That means you are not really washing the dishes. Insight. Mindfulness means being fully engaged with the present task, not rushing to the next thing. Find the sacred in the ordinary. If I'm incapable of washing dishes joyfully, if I want to finish them quickly so I can go and have tea, I will be equally incapable of enjoying the tea. Insight. Every action, no matter how mundane, can be a doorway to peace and presence. Practice mindfulness in daily life. To my mind, the idea that doing dishes is unpleasant can occur only when you are not doing them. Think about that. Because if you're really in the act of doing the dishes, you're not thinking about something else, you're doing the dishes. But if you're not really doing the dishes, then you can be thinking a lot of other things, like how unpleasant it might be. Insight. When you're truly present, even routine tasks become a form of meditation and nourishment. Mindfulness is about deep awareness. When you are washing dishes, wash them as if they are the baby Buddha. Aw, isn't that nice? Huh? Think of that. Washing each dish as if it's the baby Buddha. Insight. Treat each task and moment with reverence, care, and gentle attention. Now, I don't know about you all, but I could certainly add some of that to my life in terms of what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, how present I am to what I'm doing. And the one that really sort of knocked me on the side of the head was the idea that if I'm really doing the dishes, I can't be complaining about them, because I would just be present to that act of doing dishes and washing them as if they're the baby Buddha. So no more dishwasher for me. Kidding. So kidding. So not true. Yes, it's how do I load the dishwasher? Being fully present to the loading and the unloading of the dishwasher. So I have 5 different things we can do here in order to sort of heighten our practice and bring us more into awareness. And there's simple things that we can take on, one different thing a day a week, or we can do it every day for a little period of time till we get good at it and then move on to something else. So one is breathe with intention. So is anybody familiar with box breathing? Okay, some aren't. So a very simple breathing technique would be, or meditation technique would be, while you're meditating, you can count quietly in the back of your mind to a count of 4 as you slowly breathe in, and then hold that breath for the same count of 4, and then exhale for the same count of 4, and then hold at the bottom for a count of 4, and then breathe in again for a count of 4, and just continue that process. Right? You keep the count the same duration, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, breathe in 2, 3, 4. And that is a form of dropping yourself into meditation, and you can slowly let go of the count, and you'll find that you're now into that space a little easier if you're having trouble sort of settling in. Focusing on your breath anchors you in the present moment and calms mental chatter. So that's why you would do that, if you're having problems with the mental chatter. All right, declutter your mind. Number 2, do a brain dump. Write down everything on your mind without judgment. So does anybody here journal? And do you think about when you journal so that you're not actually journaling? You're thinking about what you're going to write down in journal. And so maybe it takes a little longer to write anything down because you're weighing and measuring everything you think you're going to write down, and then I don't want to write that down. And then you're actually not journaling in this format. This idea is you just write whatever comes into your head. It doesn't have to be fluent, and it doesn't have to line up with what you just wrote. You just write. Okay, another form of presence and meditation. You can create stillness. So you can sit quietly for 5 to 10 minutes each day, no phone, no music, just stillness. And this is one of our Unity five-step prayer processes, to get to that place of sitting in the silence, right? And so maybe you need to journal to start that process, or maybe you need the box breathing, and then you can settle into that. But getting into the habit of falling into the silence for 5 or 10 minutes a day is a great form of calming the nervous system, of allowing yourself to let go of some things in your life, and to really just get present to that moment, the moment that's right there for you. Because which is the only moment you have? Right? It's the one you're in. That's it. It's the only one you got. So you might as well enjoy the heck out of it. Number 4 is you can ask empowering questions. So this technique is ask yourself what truly matters right now, or what's one small step I can take. So again, I asked that question this morning. What truly matters right now? And for me, my mental health in that moment mattered the most. I saw that. I was like, you know what I need to do? I need to unplug from all of that madness of thinking I'm somehow going to solve everything in the world right now, and just get present. And then later I woke up, I walked the dog, I came back from walking the dog, and I sat down on my laptop and just cleaned a whole bunch of stuff up with a fresh, clear mind, with no anxiety around it, no panic, and just took care of some things. And it was great. Number 5, practice grounding. Anybody stand barefoot in the yard? No? No? All the time? Some people, yeah. Yeah. Getting connected to the earth, actually getting the magnetic energy, because your shoes, the rubber will actually take the frequency and the energy from the earth and separate you from it. And so there is this idea of grounding ourselves into Mother Earth and having that energy flow through our bodies. And you could do this like for 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day, or even 3 times a week. Just go out into the front yard if you have one, and you don't want concrete. You want like grass or dirt, where you just stand barefoot and recalibrate your body to the magnetic force of the planet. I mean, we kind of have lived here a while as humans on this planet. Being connected to it is a really good idea. So I tried this last summer. I was like determined, I'm going to spend my time walking the dog barefoot. No, did not work. I was like walking along like this with rocks and twigs and things sticking into my feet, and my feet are just, they are not conditioned for barefoot walking in the bush. They're just not. Blackberry bushes hurt a lot. Just FYI, okay? So just do it in the front yard if you've got some grass or a mossy front yard or something like that. It's really cozy. Go down to the beach, right? There you go. Take off your shoes, your socks, and just allow yourself to absorb that energy.